Q&A day, finally. You guys sent me lots of questions on Instagram weeks ago now, some for me and some for Paul, and I've been wanting to get this video filmed for the longest time. I obviously wasn't feeling very well after Florida and everything, but now I am back on track, so we're going to be answering your questions today as the day goes along. Some of them were just for me, so I'll do a few on my own, and then I'm going to bring Paul in to answer some of the questions that you had for him and for us. It feels so good to be filming again. It has been so many weeks that I just haven't been able to, and now one has just gone up a few days ago. This one will be going up, so I'm back on track and I love it. This is what I love. I love being busy. I love filming here at home as well as obviously when I'm out in Florida. So yeah, I'm really feeling good. It's first thing in the morning. I'm just down here doing my little morning routine. I'm getting my AG1 ready. You guys might remember I spoke about this probably back in December for the first time, and they very kindly sponsored today's video. For those of you who might not know, AG1 is a daily health drink. So it's got vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, gut-friendly bacteria, mushrooms, everything I need basically in this one drink. That's why I love it. I used to take all sorts of different supplements, all these different like gummies and everything that really added up across the month, and now I just have this, so it's a lot easier. As you can see, I've got my water ready there in the bottle. I just got my canister out the fridge. You do need to keep your AG1 refrigerated once it's opened, and you put 1 scoop into the water, give it a big shake, then a couple of drops of the vitamin D. I always throw in a few ice cubes, little splash of pineapple juice, another big shake, and that's it done. I drink it every single morning, and I made a mistake when I went to Florida, which I've really learned the hard way from, because I was so limited on luggage. If you guys remember, I only had hand luggage. I had no space for anything, and I didn't take my AG1 with me. Now they do the travel sachets, so there was no reason I couldn't have taken those, but I was just thinking like, oh, the bottle's going to take up room, I won't take it with me. And while I was away, you will know that I wasn't very well. I had a couple of days when I was just in bed feeling absolutely awful. The only thing I wanted was my AG1. I wasn't really eating, I didn't really want anything, but while I was laid there, that is the one thing I was thinking was gonna make me feel better. That is all I can tell you. I don't know, but that is what I wanted and the only thing I wanted, and I just wish I had taken it with me. I spoke in the last video about my skin. That was one of the first changes that I noticed. I was getting a lot of spots like underneath my chin here. Those have completely gone, and that has continued to be the case. The other thing that I notice the most is my kind of digestion is so good. I used to kind of just feel very uncomfortable a lot of the time, especially after eating, and just get, you know, stomach being a bit up and down. That I haven't had at all. It's been really, really good since I've been drinking this. That's another thing I've noticed. I wanted to just drink this so I can test it properly and not have anything else going on, so I can be certain that it is this that's working for me. So I absolutely love it. I can't believe I'm turning 42 this year. I don't know where time has gone. It's just going so fast, but I do feel more than ever that I want to make sure that I'm getting everything that my body needs. AG1 have given me an offer for you guys if you want to try this out. If you subscribe now, you'll get your pouch of AG1 and your fridge canister. You'll get the bottle and the scoop, and with that you'll get a free bottle of the vitamin D drops and 5 of the travel packs. You can buy a box of them if you need more, but they'll send you 5 of these to get started if you're going away for a few days. Don't make the mistake I did and go without it, because with these travel ones they don't need to be kept in the fridge. You can just take them along with you so that you never have to be without it. And like I said, I learned that the hard way. You just need to go to drinkag1.com/Victoria in detail. I'll put that link in the description as well as on screen, and there will be a QR code here as well. You can just scan that and that will take you right to the offer. So I'm going to have this, then I'm going to answer a few questions, and then Paul and I are going to be going out and about, and we will answer some of the ones that you've asked both of us. I probably will have a bit of breakfast as well. I always have this first before anything else. Maybe have some porridge, maybe some fruit and yogurt, one or the other. Several hours have gone by now, and I'm just having a little biscuit tea. This is regular biscuit brew. I do really love that new shortbread one that I put in the last vlog. Was it the last vlog or on Instagram, wherever it was? And this is just regular Yorkshire tea biscuit brew because I still love that. And I've got the cocoa mug. I love this. This one was from the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, and I think Kate bought it for herself and then I bought it for Claire. So I'm just going to answer some of these questions, the ones that were mainly just for me, and then later on, probably while we're cooking dinner, me and Paul are going to answer the questions that were more aimed at both of us. Had lots of questions for me and Paul, so those will be later in the video. Becca was asking, do you ever fancy going back brunette? I actually don't. It's not that I don't like it. So brunette is obviously my natural colour and I have always loved it. The problem that I have now is I have quite a lot of greys, especially like here at the front. So if I have it brunette, it is just really, really difficult to maintain, because even if you've coloured it, within, I would say, a week, you then start getting the regrowth through. There's nothing wrong with having grey hair. I will start by saying that. Whatever colour people want to have, or if they want to grow out the grey, I just don't. So I have it blonde now because it does disguise it better than when it's dark. And actually I just really do like having it blonde again. I had it blonde when I was a lot younger. I might even be able to find a picture, like an embarrassing teen picture from when I was about 18 or 19. So I used to have it blonde probably until I was about 21, and then I had it dark again. So yeah, I really like it actually, and I like the colour especially that is at the moment, so I don't think I will change it anytime soon. Ange is asking, what do you think you will do for work when you stop vlogging? I really don't know. I do think about this quite a lot. What other things would I do? Like at the moment, I love doing this. I am very, very grateful. I feel lucky and grateful every day to be able to do what I do. But it's not the kind of thing that necessarily you can do forever. YouTube could go away tomorrow. Who knows what could happen? So I do think about it quite a lot. In a way, probably in the first instance, I might go back to working for the NHS. That's what I did before. And it is a good place to work, or it was where I was anyway, and yeah, I would quite happily go back and do that. I did a regular kind of 9 to 5 for 17 years before I was doing this, so I'd be more than happy to go back and do that. Alternatively, I quite like the idea of working in social media, maybe for a brand, so helping with their social media. Then I'm kind of staying in the same arena. I don't know, I do think about that quite a lot. Maybe travel content. I'd still like to do something to do with travel content, but maybe working for a brand and helping out with their social media, that would be good. Maui Penny is asking, where is your dream cruise destination? There are so many, and I've been looking at lots of different cruise lines other than just Disney Cruise Line. I definitely want to do the Disney Treasure and some other Disney cruises, but I've also been looking at P&O and Royal Caribbean and some of, is it Royal Caribbean? And some of the others. I feel like a friend is about to enter the vlog. There she is. Everybody wants to see your face. There she is. What were we talking about? Cruises. So I have been looking at some of the others. One thing I would really, really love to do, and I've seen other people do this cruise, is the Norwegian fjords. That looks amazing. I would love to do that. So I'm laughing. Paul sat over there. And like, so Lola does this thing. If you're sat there, she will just come over and start tapping you if you're not giving her enough attention. And Paul was just sat over there, and I, out the corner of my eye, just saw her go over and start the tapping. You're so funny. So yeah, Norwegian fjords I would love. I think that is high on the agenda, definitely, for a cruise. But some of the actual cruise ships that I've been seeing, Royal Caribbean, some of theirs look unbelievable, so I would love to do some different ones. Zoe is asking, will Italy be on this channel or your Disney in Detail channel? That'll be on this channel, and Italy is definitely somewhere that me and Paul want to do this year. And rather than do one big trip for Italy and do lots of different places, I think it will probably be more going for 2 or 3 days at a time and doing each destination in Italy separately. That's probably what we'll do, just because of Paul's work. He very often can get like a few days off, but it's a lot harder to get a week or 2 weeks, and obviously we're going to Florida in May, so we'll probably end up doing like little trips. I've never been to Rome, which is kind of the biggest tourist destination. Well, I'm telling a lie, I have been to Rome, obviously, because we went on the cruise from Rome, so I have been technically, but I haven't been into Rome. I stayed in that incredible hotel. I had a view over the whole city and the Vatican and everything, which was unbelievable, but I haven't had a chance to explore. So at some point we probably would go to Rome to actually stay in Rome and look around. I would also love to go to Verona and Florence, which are maybe not, especially Verona, I don't feel like that's one of the biggest like tourist places. I would say Venice and Rome are the bigger ones. But yeah, I just want to do as many as possible. I love Italy so much, and it just looks amazing. I love the food. You know what I'm like with food? Some countries I feel like I would struggle to eat anything if I went there. So Italy's amazing for me because I definitely like eating in Italy. But all of those vlogs will be on this channel, so keep watching for that because we definitely want to do a couple of those this year. Julie is asking, how did you end up living in Somerset? I have always lived here. I was born here and have lived here pretty much all of my life. I did move for a few years to Hampshire and then Surrey. That was probably back in 2015, 2016, around when I first started this channel, actually a really long time ago. But mostly I have always lived in Somerset and I do love it. We were out and about today, weren't we, and just saying how nice of a place it is.
Somerset is like the most picturesque place you can go in England, I'd say. It's
lovely. I mean, maybe Cornwall and Devon also, but this part of the this part of the world, like the south, is beautiful. It really is. So I feel very lucky to live in this area of the world because it is very, very beautiful. I can't decide whether I like this or the shortbread tea.
I'd say they're on par. So shortbread tea is slightly sweeter because of the smell.
It is actually, yeah, you're right.
Sort of smell, whereas that one's more of a digestive-y, kind of oatmeal kind of.
When I first tried the shortbread tea, I was like, I like it, but not as much as biscuit brew. Now I'm having a biscuit brew, I'm feeling like I want a shortbread tea. Don't worry, I'm not becoming disloyal to biscuit brew, but.
Well, it's both biscuits.
I know, that shortbread tea though is so good. Yeah, it really is amazing. Gathine is asking, are you planning any Disney trips in Asia or perhaps LA? I really, really want to go back to California. I loved the parks there and got so little time really because I went with the Disney team to D23. We were doing a lot of stuff, actually, you know, the panels and going around the D23 event itself. So we didn't get an awful lot of time in the parks and I would love to go back, especially California Adventure. I feel like I really didn't get to see a lot of that. Oh, hi, Wee Wee. I didn't realise she'd come back in. We call her Wee Wee because she's always been so small. When Kate first got her, because she's about 16 now, and she was always really tiny, so we call her Wee Wee all the time. Anyway, where was I? California, yes. So I'd love to go back there. And I think it was 2022 that I went. So I do feel like another trip is due. And actually this year is the 70th, I think it's the 70th, isn't it? Not 75th. 70th anniversary, and they've got various different things going on, so I have thought about later this year potentially for California because I would love to go back, and I know Paul would love it. He'll have been to Disney World by then.
Looking forward to everything.
Yeah, he is so excited for Florida.
I'm actually having sleepless nights already and I've still got like 2 months left before I go.
He's so excited. He's actually like, you have had like some sleepless nights and dreams about going to Florida as well. We booked our flights recently as well, so we've now got our flights booked.
I'm just looking forward to the whole experience.
Just everything, like the little things.
Literally everything. But the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is actually being able to see trainers on the shelf in my size.
Paul wears like a size 13 or 14 in shoes and he finds it really hard to buy trainers over here, so he's buzzing for that as well. He will be on camera later, by the way. He's like a voice from the beyond over here. When we do the questions later, he will actually be on camera, don't worry. Right, I've gone off on a tangent again. Let's find another question. I've had a couple of questions about makeup, one specifically about foundation, and someone was just generally asking what I use in Florida because my makeup always stays on. It does stay on, I will say. I have found a good combination that does stay on. I do still get very, very sweaty though, and I will say that using my fan is one of the biggest reasons it stays on because I don't allow my face to get too hot. I pretty much have my fan going most of the time when I go at times of year when it's very hot. But the foundation I use is this one here, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I am a bit worried they might be discontinuing this because when I went to Sephora at Disney Springs, they've got a different type to this one and I'm worried that they've changed it. Now in the UK you can still get this, so I don't know. This one is in shade beige, so I do try to stock up because I love this so much. It just stays on really well on my skin. I do also use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. Setting sprays, I've tried all of them and I always used to think, am I just like basically spraying water on my face? This isn't doing anything. This one genuinely does keep my makeup on. I don't know, it's just so good. When I'm in Florida, I spray it on first before I put anything. So I put my sunscreen on, then I spray this, then the foundation, concealer, and on top of all of it, I do put the Beauty Pie One Powder Wonder. and this is just the Uberlucent Universal, like it looks white actually, but it doesn't go on your face white. But that I find with all of it on, and then just one more spray of this over the top, does keep everything on for most of the day. You'll notice in my Disney vlogs occasionally towards the end of the day, I'm looking a tiny bit worse for wear. I've got lipstick worn off, and I really don't touch my makeup up during the day. I just don't have the time. We're always like running around vlogging, being busy, so I really don't put more makeup on. So how it is at the end of the day is how it is. That's how it's kind of worn as the day has gone on. Someone here was asking, what is your go-to coffee order? This is the most boring answer ever. I wish it was more exciting. I know some people's coffee, he's laughing over there. I wish like it was more exciting than it is. I always just order a latte, don't I? Yeah. Always. No syrup, no nothing, just a bog standard latte.
I had a cinnamon bun latte today.
Yeah, you did. Was it nice? I forgot to ask.
Absolutely lush.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm not a big cinnamon fan in drinks. I really don't like chai latte at all. It's a bit of a boring coffee order. Someone here is asking what inspired you to start a YouTube channel. So this was the first channel that I had, believe it or not, even though this is the smaller of my 2 channels. This one I started, I believe it might even have been 2014. So over 10 years ago now. And I started this one because, honest answer, I was bored and I needed to fill my time. At that particular time, we had moved to Hampshire for Ian's job. I needed to obviously leave my job that I was at to move, and it took me a few months before I found something because I was in a new place and I didn't really know what the job market was like. I was applying for stuff and all of that takes time. So I just had a lot of time by myself. I really needed something to do, and I decided to start this channel. And at the time I was posting little makeup reviews and stuff like that. It was just at that period of time most people were doing like beauty videos on YouTube, but it was really just to pass the time. And then in 2015 I started Disney in Detail, and of course that completely took off after I got TM. That was really when my channel grew massively because I had time to devote full time to it because I couldn't work at the time. And now here we are. So that's the history of it. But the initial reason I started this one was because I needed to fill my time. And the Disney one, that was more to help people plan their trips. I was getting a lot of people asking me, because I've been so many times by that point, like, how do you book this? How do you do that? How do magic bands work? And all of those kinds of things. So it was meant to be just information to start off with. And then Kate and I did those first vlogs in 2016, and it just kind of went off from there. So yeah, that's the history of why I started the channel. I'll just do a couple more and then Paul and I will answer the rest of them together when we're cooking dinner in a bit. Someone here is saying favourite restaurant local to where you live. One of my favourite ones, which is in Taunton, is China. The only thing about that one, they no longer have the actual restaurant open. For years and years, it was my favourite Chinese restaurant to go to. Really nice like setting, and the food is incredible. During COVID, they switched over to just being takeaway, and as far as I know, they still are. They haven't actually reopened the sit-down restaurant, so that's really disappointing because I do love it there. We absolutely love Bear Grylls, don't we? Bear Grylls is so good. There's a couple of them around here. I think there's only 2, or is there 3? There's
2.
One in Weston and one in Taunton. I think that's it. For some reason I had it in my head there's one in Exeter, but I don't think there is. I think it's just Weston and Taunton. Yeah, I'm sure there's only those 2. But Bear Grylls is like a barbecue restaurant, and it's so good, isn't it? The food is just amazing. That's kind of our treat place that we go to though, and it's a lot of food as well, so we don't go there too often because
food's out as well there, and it's not, it is pricey, but it's not overly pricey when you consider what you get. So
yeah, it is a little bit, but it's a lot of food. You do get a lot. So we normally take some home and you'll have it the next day, so whatever you're paying, it's kind of like 2 days worth of eating because it's a lot of food. But yeah, Bear Grylls is really nice. Oh, and I just want to give a shout out as well. Another place that I really love, and I haven't been for ages, and I haven't taken Paul there yet, is the Anchor, which is a pub on the way out to Wellington. So I think it's actually Hill Farrants is the particular place where it's located. It's quite rural, but the restaurant there it's a pub, but they have like a restaurant as well. And their food is unreal, so good. We need to do that soon. It's question time. In the end, in terms of dinner, because we were going to be doing this when we were cooking dinner, Kate had something and needed to make up the order, so we ended up having a little something along with that, and now we're not hungry. So basically we're just having a drink instead while we answer the questions, and I'll probably need something a bit later because I've got editing to do. So I have a melon. There goes the coffee machine. It will stop in a minute. Right, so we need it a bit higher up. I'm not used to this because of Paul's height, so we need to move the camera up higher.
Just tweak it just a little.
I just put it where I normally put it, but it was chopping the top of your head off. So first one is, this is a fairly easy one. How did you and Paul meet?
Well, we met online.
We did. I mean, how does everybody meet these days? Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was basically because of our lifestyles. We were both very busy.
I just think it's the norm now, isn't it?
It is the norm now, yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, we met probably not on your stereotypical dating site. We met on Facebook.
Facebook dating.
Yeah.
But actually, I will say, if anybody out there is dating, this is going to turn into like a dating advice session.
Right,
I actually found Facebook dating, you kind of speak to people more on there. I just found that one better. Facebook dating.
I liked Facebook dating purely because it felt a bit more real.
Yeah.
You know, that's literally the only way I can describe it. Really, it felt a bit more real. You go on to, I ain't gonna mention a lot of other dating sites, but you go on dating sites and like you kind of feel like, is that really that person?
Yeah, I would worry more about catfishing on other sites or fake profiles, but I didn't find that so much on Facebook. No. So that was good. But yeah, that's where we met. And I will say though, we met up very quickly. So we kind of matched and chatted very, very briefly before we actually then met. We had quite a lot of video calls.
We did.
Yeah,
but like,
we did meet up.
The good thing about how we went along and did things is, like Victoria rightfully said, is we had a lot of video calls. And we had video call every night, and we made sure that we met in a public place.
Yeah, always do that.
Yeah, make sure you do that. That's quite important. Yeah, and also if you feel the need to have somebody there nearby, you know, the other person wouldn't know.
Maybe, I don't know, I feel like if you feel like that, maybe you shouldn't be meeting them, but as long as you meet in a public place, that's important. Don't go for like a walk in the woods with someone.
You just need to make sure you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as soon as you start feeling uncomfortable, you know there's something not right. But I was definitely lucky. Meeting this beautiful young lady.
He always does that. I'll take a sip of drink and he makes like sound effects. Oh dear. Find someone who can make you laugh. That is my top tip for dating. Definitely.
Remember, men, if you can make them laugh, you're halfway there.
Yeah. Kiara is asking, any plans for Valentine's Day? Bearing in mind I asked these questions ages ago because I haven't been very well. We're only getting around to answering them now. The reason I'm still answering this, even though it's after the fact, is we did have quite a funny Valentine's Day, didn't we?
We did, yes. Yeah.
Paul had arranged a lovely dinner and you'd been working, so we had we were tight for time, weren't we?
I was very tight for time.
Yeah, we had to very quickly like get turned around to go out for this lovely meal, but he picked this really, really nice restaurant. It's a pub actually, but lovely, very, very nice. And the food was really good and we really enjoyed it, but there was a lot of drama going on.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a floor show, I will say, on the side. We were there for our nice little, you know, romantic Valentine's Day, but they were having a few issues with the service that night. They were down a staff member and various things had happened and there were people like complaining, but then the people complaining were upsetting people at another table because it was ruining their evening. So then they started like clashing and then people were like getting up and storming out and all sorts.
We both kind of enjoyed our meal, didn't we? We both enjoyed our meal, but you know, we also sort of like, we was in our own little bubble. We didn't get involved in what was going on around us. We sort of like just sat there and we loved our meal. It was a beautiful, nice night. It was. You know, so.
But it was one to remember.
Definitely one to remember.
It was pretty real at one point. People were like storming, it was hilarious. Sarah is asking, next Disney trip, ? The answer would have been mine and Paul's trip in May, and you're very excited.
I am excited.
For that. That was supposed to be the next one, but because the Florida trip I did in January really kind of went wrong and didn't go according to plan, Catherine and I are now going back. So you guys will already know this if you watched my last vlog. So although that was going to be the next one, now I am going with Catherine in just a couple of weeks for basically a do-over trip. I needed to go again, she really wanted to go, and it just worked out that we were able to go at the same time. So we're doing a quick little trip, and then in May, Paul and I will be going. So
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you to go.
I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same sort of time.
We've been looking forward to a steak.
Yes.
In America. We have steaks over here, obviously, but they have have really good, like, big steaks in America.
Yes.
So you're looking forward to going to a steak restaurant. Obviously Disney and Universal, we're going to Universal. Somebody also asked about Epic Universe. Our trip will be when Epic Universe opens. So it is our plan to go to Epic Universe, but we will literally be there either first or second day. He's so excited for that. So am I. That is going to be crazy because I've been going to Orlando for so long and there has not been a brand new theme park at Universal or Disney for so many years, so many years. So it's huge. Carolyn is asking, are you going to live with Paul? We are actually looking at the moment for somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it's not easy. The rental market at the moment, I don't know whether this is all over the UK, but around here, a property becomes available and before you've even had a chance to call up and ask about it, they're like, oh, we've got 20 viewings already. I feel like there's like 50 people who want every single property.
It's so difficult to get somewhere to live this day and age.
We're narrowed down by what's within our budget, what we want to spend, and then those properties, obviously there's like 50 people leaping on it every time a property comes up, so we are looking, but it is quite difficult to find what you're looking for.
But the answer to your question, to be honest with you, is yes, we do want to live together. We're
very excited about it and we're enjoying looking at places and finding somewhere that's going to be good for us, so yeah, really excited for that.
We are.
Are you planning any European trips? I did kind of talk about that earlier with Italy, but we want to do lots of different things, don't we? There's loads of places we want to go. Whereabouts would you fancy in Europe?
In Europe, I just want to travel in general, really. Doing that travelling on a budget kind of thing. Yeah,
we want to do a lot of, like I said earlier, quick trips that are maybe like just a couple of days or even 24 hours.
Yeah.
But go abroad.
See where we can get a plane to and just come back.
Yeah. A lot of it's going to be very like off the cuff, just sudden trips. So we don't even really know where they're going to be because it'll all depend where's available, where's the cheapest. We're just going to do a lot of very spontaneous travel.
Very much on the day type thing, like literally just drive up to the airport or get a coach to the airport.
Yep.
And whilst we're there, see what we can do.
Yeah, and I will be doing Disneyland Paris, so of course going back to Paris, and hopefully you'll get to do that with me because have you been to Disneyland Paris either?
I've never been to Disneyland, Disney World.
No Disneys?
No.
You actually do really love Disney films though.
I do. I love
even though you've not been to a park.
No, I love the old classics though, like Sword in the Stone, that's one of my favourites, and Robin Hood, you know, and the old original Jungle Book. Yes.
I do really love some of the new Pixar, like Inside Out is, I think, amazing. I love that. And Monsters Inc, we both really love that.
We both like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
And we both like Inside Out. I like Inside Out.
Yeah, you liked Inside Out as well. Yeah, I just love it. So I can't wait for Paul to experience the Disney parks. We're just going to do a couple more because these Q&A videos go so long otherwise, and I'm aware that I answered a load earlier as well. So I'm trying to find the ones that were like kind of specifically for me and you. Here's one that isn't, but I will just quickly answer this. Someone was saying, I love your dresses and play suits that your mum makes. I'd love to know which patterns she uses. I'll put a few of the links in the description for the patterns that mum uses for me. There's one in particular that's like my favourite, so I'll try and link that one.
Your mum does a really good job with your dresses, doesn't she? It's just an amazing job.
I am so lucky. Basically, if there's something I can imagine in my head, like a certain fabric, a certain colour, a certain style, we can find it and she makes it. She's so good at it and I'm very lucky. I answered the question earlier, where am I from? Or I think somebody asked, how did I end up in Somerset? Where are you from though? I mean, anyone in the UK can probably tell by Paul's accent where he's from.
Yes, I'm originally from Birmingham.
Yeah, fairly obvious by the accent.
I lived in Portland, in Dorset, if anybody knows of Portland, near Weymouth. A lot of people don't know Portland, but they know Weymouth. However, they're both very close to each other.
Most people have heard of Portland Bill, though.
Yeah, most people have heard of Portland Bill. So I live not too far away from Portland Bill.
Yeah.
I do miss Birmingham. It's my home city.
It's quite funny with your accent because you don't think you sound very Birmingham. And when Paul is around his family members, because they sound very like Brummy, you don't sound that Birmingham next to them.
No, no.
When we're around in Somerset, your accent kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So it's quite funny. Obviously to me you sound very like Brummy.
I mean, I'm very toned down compared to a lot of Brummies, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of you will know Emma, Brummy mummy of 2, and she's been in a couple of my vlogs, and a lot of you will know her. She's obviously Birmingham as well, so Paul's got the similar accent to Emma.
Hello, Emma.
Actually, we did, Paul did meet Emma at the Moana event that we went to.
Yes,
love her, absolutely love Emma. Maui Penny is asking, where is your dream cruise destination? You're a bit scared of cruises, aren't you? Paul probably made a face then, I didn't actually notice. He's got a bit of a fear of cruises. A lot of people do. I never realised this, but a lot of people are a bit fearful of cruises.
Yeah, I'm very much internet influenced, is how I'm going to word it. When you Google cruises and you YouTube cruises, there's a lot of like scary videos of people looking at tables just literally they're stood at like this kind of an angle and a table shooting down past them, and you're thinking, what's going on? And there's loads of water coming in everywhere. I'm petrified of cruises. However, I want to get over it.
You've watched one too many TikToks is basically what we're saying here about cruise craziness. Obviously it's generally not like that, and you do want to do it. You do want to get over the fear of cruises.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier, someone was asking, I think someone said something else about cruises. I've definitely answered a cruise question today, and it may even have been the same question. If I've answered the same question twice, I apologise, but I wanted to answer it with Paul so he could also say. But earlier I was saying I would love to do the Norwegian fjords, and you would love that as well. Yeah. I think as well, I really, really would love to go to Singapore, and I'm thinking like a cruise that went in that direction, and then I could just like have a couple of, well, not even a couple of days. When you have a cruise, it's normally one day, but even just to experience it and then get back on a cruise and not go again. Wouldn't it? It really would. But we have been looking at, like I said earlier, several different cruise lines, so that's something we're looking into, but that's like a bigger trip for us. And definitely in the short term, we've got Florida, and definitely going to be looking at these very spontaneous little quick trips abroad for like 2 days or something at a time. I think that's going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to discovering new places. Doing that and doing these quick spontaneous trips will allow us to maybe go to places we wouldn't have thought of. True. Or we wouldn't have necessarily planned. That's the idea behind it. So yeah, we're definitely going to do some of those, aren't we?
Yeah,
coming up really soon. So Paul's gone off to bed now because he has to, that was my coffee. Paul's gone off to bed now because he has to be up really early for work. So I thought I would wrap up this vlog, eat some of this melon, have my coffee, and I've got a bit of editing and stuff to do before I go to sleep. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe over on Disney in Detail if you haven't already, because there's going to be loads coming up there with me and Catherine in just a couple of weeks' time. I am so excited for that trip to get out there for Flower and Garden Festival. We're going to the new cake bake shop over at the boardwalk, doing some different dining reservations we've never done. I'm just so excited to have a really fun girly trip, so be sure to subscribe over there if you haven't already. Like we've been saying in this Q&A, there's lots coming up on this channel over the next few months and this year, lots of different travel, so be sure to subscribe here as well. Don't forget to check out the offer from AG1 as well. I will put the link to that in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.